Come with us to all the Hocus Pocus film locations. We'll show you what they looked like in the movie and what they look like today. We'll take you to Max and Dani's house, the graveyard where Max got bullied, their school, Allison's house, and much more. We'll also give you the exact details on how to go to these places yourself and their addresses. This is such a fun trip. Come along.
Welcome to VO's Travel. Where to go and what to see with kids.
This was such a fun trip to take. Most of the Hocus Pocus scenes were filmed in Salem, Massachusetts, and a couple next door in Marblehead. First one we're going to check out is Allison's house. In the movie, after Max gets upset with Dani, they end up in the front yard of this beautiful white mansion. They peek inside and they see Allison. This is such a great place to visit, and if you go late October, it will even be decorated just like the movie. The next place in Salem to go is Old Town Hall. This is where the adult had their costume party and where Bette Midler took over the stage and saying, "I put a spell on you." The kids all freak out because they're trying to tell their parents these witches are dangerous and they're going to get us, but the parents just don't believe them. This is a beautiful place. You can take pictures in the front of the building and in the back. Next, you will want to head to Max and Allison's high school, Jacob Bradley High School. This is where Max learns all about the Salem superstitions, and he's telling the teacher and Allison that he just doesn't believe them. He gives Allison his number, and then all of the kids head out of school because they're super excited to celebrate Halloween. Later on in the movie, the witches go back to the school and they get locked in the kiln room by the kids. And right across the street from the old school is Salem Common. It's a big park right in the middle of Salem, and this is where, after school, Max meets up with Allison again, and she denies him by giving her number right back to him. You can walk the same paths at Salem Common, and it's a beautiful place to go, especially in fall. About a mile outside downtown Salem is Max and Dani's house. It's right on the ocean and a beautiful place to visit. This is where Max rode home to after being bullied in the cemetery. And then later on in the movie, Max and Allison have the book, and the witches see light coming from that house and go retrieve the book. Keep in mind, this house is a personal, private property, so be very respectful when visiting. Don't go up to the door and don't get very close when taking pictures. The last place in Salem you'll want to visit is Pioneer Village. This is where the opening scenes of Hocus Pocus were filmed and where Thackery and his sister Emily lived. This is what their cabin actually looks like now. Pioneer Village is the first living history museum, actually. And then this is another building that's seen in this scene right here when the boys are running to get Emily from the witches in the woods. It was a fun little place to visit and only $5 to enter. These last two spots are in Marblehead, which is just about 10 miles south of Salem, so not far. The first one is the bus stop gift shop. You'll see Max riding his bike here on his way home after the cemetery scene. Make sure if you do go to check out that gift shop because it's so cute. The last spot you'll want to check out is Old Burial Hill. This is where Max was bullied in the graveyard. You can see this happening right here. Notice the two gravestones out front. Here those gravestones are today. And that mausoleum in the back, that's where the bullies stand up, as you can see right there. To get to this exact location, you'll walk up the stairs at the entrance to the graveyard. And you can see that mausoleum that I circle right here. You'll want to stand just down from that with that in the background, and that will be your location. Thank you so much for coming along. I hope you enjoyed all of these Hocus Pocus film locations 30 years later. And as always, I hope that you remember to choose joy and take all of the pictures.